handicap. There is no room for error.
Everything that you're telling me sounds like an excuse.
Face Off, an original series only this Wednesday 10.
Good afternoon. This is a fantastic turnout on a very hot afternoon for a very special occasion. For many in the audience, this particular building has a lot of memories, and you'll be hearing from at least one of those individuals, but others could tell stories. Even if they weren't here, they probably will think they were and tell you a story about the time they met the train in Killeen. I am delighted that the Texas Sesquicentennial was held and that Killeen had a great celebration during our Sesquicentennial. And I've shared with a lot of you that one of my most pleasant experiences was to be on that Sesquicentennial committee, because it wasn't work, it was a lot of fun. And you're still seeing the benefits of that Sesquicentennial committee in today's ceremony. We just keep dedicating markers and spending money. Now we're about to run out of money. So we're either now have to collect, Cecil will have a collection, or we'll go out of business, and maybe they'll want us to go out of business. Anyway, at this time, we would like to have the posting of the colors by the Fighting Sixth. There are two songs that are very difficult to sing, and one of those songs we don't even know the words to. So rather than embarrass you this afternoon to sing Texas, Our Texas, and have the TV watching you not know the words, I've bailed you out. Well, really, Sis Beck bailed you out. Because we've asked Joyce Hodson, who has a beautiful voice, to come and sing Texas, Our Texas.
right, now you ready? I'm sorry, my tape is messed up. I'll sing it for you anyway. Texas, our Texas, all hail the mighty state. Texas, our Texas, so wonderful, so great. Largest and grandest, withstanding every test. Oh, empire wide and glorious, you stand supremely blessed. God bless you, Texas, and keep you brave and strong, that you may grow in power and worth throughout the ages long. Texas, our Texas, your freeborn single star shines forth its radiance to nations near and far. Mother of heroes, we come your children true, proclaiming our allegiance, our faith, our love for you. God bless you, Texas, and keep you brave and strong, that you may grow in power and worth throughout the ages long.
Thank you, Joyce. The mark of a professional is when you improvise, and Joyce was prepared for the tape not working. Did a great job. As I said, one of the enjoyable services that were rendered in this community were those of the Killeen Sesquicentennial Committee. Actually, the Killeen Centennial Commission, and Sis Beck was reminding me, that was about 10 years ago. And then some of them just kept going on the Sesquicentennial Committee. So I'd like to recognize those people that gave a lot of time and a lot of services to the community by serving on the Sesquicentennial Committee. So if y'all would raise your hands and just keep them up there a moment. All the members of the Killeen Sesquicentennial Committee. There's Bill Clark, Sis Beck, Cecil Johnson, Lynn Martin, Lynn McGehee, Mildred Cloud, Tonsa Young, Ruth O'Neill, Gerald Skidmore, anyone else? Of course, there were other members. Red Sargent, of course, is ill and not able to. A fantastic member was Lawana, and we miss Lawana. Harriet Brody, and some of you others may help me remember. But it was a great group. We had box suppers. We had a lot of fellowship. And most of all, we raised funds to do things like we're doing today. Dedicate markers and preserve a part of our history. Cecil Johnson was the head of the Centennial Committee, did a yeoman service on that, and it was a lot of fun. So we are delighted to be able to have this ceremony, the dedication and unveiling of the Texas State historical marker for the Santa Fe Depot. A group that really keeps our history alive is the Bell County Historical Commission. And here to give greetings from that group is Ms. Carol Keel. Carol, and she'll introduce some of the commission members.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here to share this occasion with you. Historical marker dedications are very important to members of the Bell County Historical Commission. And I've been looking around, and I think I see about 7 of us who are present today, with Mary Lee Barr Cox and Polly Elmore, Nina Fuller, Sally Walden, David Evans. I always leave somebody out. Let's see. Gradale Duncan. All of those are members of Bell County Historical Commission and are here sharing this with you. I want to say congratulations to those of you who are responsible for this historical marker. And I want to say congratulations to the citizens of Killeen, because with the dedication of this historical marker, a significant cultural resource in your community is being identified, documented, protected, and preserved. And that's something that you should have a lot of pride in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you so many of the commission members that came today to take part in this. It's a great turnout, and we appreciate it. Let me share with you a lady that's been just persistent and has done so much work on this particular project. She was a member of the Centennial Commission. She was a member of the Sesquicentennial Commission. She's been there on all of the history-making events. And I know my fellow members of the Sesquicentennial Committee are delighted that Sis Beck took this thing and ran with it and has got us all you've done for this community. And he does it so unselfishly, and he's so talented. And I'm very grateful for John Carter and for what he's done. Dion Miller, the city of Killeen, and Dion in particular, has gotten the place ready. They've done some cleaning up and also have helped Sis a lot, and we want to acknowledge that assistance also. The last few weeks, or really the last few months, this fellow and I have ended up in a lot of places together, and it's always good to see the mayor. So Major Blair, if you'd come forward, our mayor of the city of Killeen, who's been so active in all these projects of history making and preserving our history. And I remember years ago, Major, you started on this, and we're working on the wording of the city of Killeen and the history of it, and also a lot of the history, and asked some of our school people to help you on that. So I know you've been interested, and we'll welcome you.
Thank you, Charles. Charles, telling you the truth, we've been meeting an awful lot lately. People are going to begin to wonder about us. I need to tell you that marker dedications and marker acquisitions are something I have had some experience in, and it's been a thrill in every instance. I had some outstanding people working with me and putting a marker together that's down in the city park for the centennial year of Killeen. And Cecil Johnson and his crew of the Centennial Commission did an outstanding job of putting everything together just like it's supposed to happen. And that's what we're trying to do out here Saturday, is pull everything together just like it's supposed to happen. And I'm here to tell you, I've been talking to the good man about no rain, and so far he's cooperated with me. Y'all speak to him every time you get a chance. Let me tell you a few things about Killeen's heritage. But I want to give credit to the lady that did the research on this, because she's done so much tremendous historical research about Killeen. Gradell Duncan is invaluable when it comes to the history of this city and all of the people within it, really. She's published a book, a beautiful documented history of Killeen in this area, and she's just done an outstanding job. Let's give that lady a big hand, would you? Killeen was first established as an agricultural town and developed as a centralized railroad shipping site in the extended rail line of the Gulf, Colorado and Santa Fe Railroad from Temple to Lampasas. Frank P. Killeen, a railroad company assistant general manager from Galveston, reportedly recommended the site as a flag stop. And the birth of the town of Killeen was so named with the arrival of the first train on May 15, 1882. The railroad influenced the settlement of the community, with pioneers moving to the area and establishing their businesses for rail, shipping, and transportation. Cotton was the main crop in those years. The agricultural community was ginned and shipped by rail, along with diversified shipments of wool, mohair, wheat, corn, oats, poultry, and other agricultural commodities. And you know, as we all live in this community now and experience that we have very little of that left. We've changed to such a degree. 4 cotton gins and a flour mill were here near the depot. Rail was used for the shipment of incoming and outgoing mail service. A military town we have become, and we have because of the importance of Fort Hood. It's a title Killeen that still proudly claims. The military economy began with the opening of a temporary training facility, Camp Hood, on May the 18th, 1942. A factor that influenced the location of Camp Hood next door to the city of Killeen was that the railroad ran between Galveston, Texas, and Los Angeles, California. At the peak of World War II, 6,000 officers and 74,000 enlisted personnel were trained and housed at Fort Hood, Camp Hood at that time. April 15, 1950, Camp Hood was designated as a permanent military installation and named Fort Hood. In September 1967, Fort Hood became a permanent 2-division post. During wartime, the Santa Fe Depot in Killeen became critical to the transportation of soldiers in and out of the Fort Hood area. This depot has been moved, as those of us who've been living here for some significant time know, from its original site. It was placed here so that it could be restored and maintained in a restored condition forever, really. It had to be moved away from the track site itself. And after 3 attempts, the city finally set it down where it is now. And you cannot believe the money, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars that has gone into relocating this, restoring it in its present condition, and allowing the Chamber of Commerce to use it for their central office. It's a pleasure for the city of Killeen to be able to do that, and for you people to provide tax money to provide this restoration of this great facility. I've traveled the state extensively since I came here 31 years ago, and I see a lot of these depots that have been moved from their original locations into a suitable site for restoration. And that is a part of Texas history throughout this country that should remain, because one of these days, these old smoke-burning engines are not going to be here any longer. And I really have made a lot of effort trying to get Santa Fe to park us one out here on one of these side tracks so we'll have something to remember one day as our transportation feature changes so drastically. Nobody has said yes yet, but they haven't said no either. Charles, it's a pleasure to be involved in this. You do a great job, and thank you very much. Thank all you people for coming.
Sis, you did a wonderful job planning the train. That was... I knew the lady was talented, but that was excellent timing. So we'll wait just a second. Okay, following that brief interruption, some people that have some really vivid memories of this particular building. 2 of those gentlemen are here today, and I'm delighted that O.L. Cox and Leonard Turner are here. Mr. Cox will be speaking, I believe, for both of them. Mr. Turner said O.L. could speak for him, but I'm delighted that they'll share some of their memories of this historic building. O.L.?
Yeah, he knows I'm full of wind, so he doesn't do all the talking. Well, first off, sis, I think we need you to run these trains because Leonard Turner and I never did run one on time. Steady experience. Thank you, Dr. Carson. It's an honor to be here and talk to this group and be here for this dedication of this Texas State Historical Marker. On September the 6th, 1986, dignitaries and citizens gathered right here, and we had the dedication of the Santa Fe Depot in the plaza area. And at that time, we had a ribbon cutting ceremonies, speeches, and tours given by the Greater Killeen Chamber of Commerce of their new offices facilities. At that time, I remember Sis Beck saying, well, she said, we're not through. The Killeen Sesquicentennial Committee is going to petition the state of Texas. And we're going to try to get a Texas State Historical Marker for the old Santa Fe Depot. Well, here we are today at this dedication and the unveiling of the Texas State Historical Marker. And I think it's fitting at this time that our old beautiful Santa Fe Depot have a big handshake. I'll go on with that. That's a salute to you, the committee said. When I look at this old depot, it brings back a lot of memories. And you're going to wonder when I say it brings back fear. But I was assigned to Santa Fe to report here at this depot in October of '49. And I was a young telegrapher just out of telegraph school. And they said, you'll be telegraphing and selling tickets. And it's the hottest spot on Santa Fe at this time. So at 19 or 20 years of age, why, that didn't give me a whole lot of encouragement. All the young employees would work at this depot because the ones that had seniority didn't want to work here. It's too much work, too hot a job. But anyway, us young employees, we had to work here. And so I didn't know a thing about selling tickets. But that was October. Along come December the 1st, Army payday. And all of a sudden, I found this old waiting room down here. People lined up at the ticket window all the way out the waiting room door to buy tickets. Believe me, I soon learned how to sell a railroad ticket. Most of them was from Killeen to Chicago and all points beyond. So needless to say, that's the way I learned to sell railroad tickets. I think Paul Brooks was here, Leonard Turner's over there. He can, I know good and well, he can relate to that. And so what would happen back then is, you know, we didn't have much air service out here. The closest airport was Old Fort Worth, Dallas, or San Antonio. So they would run special trains. The Army and the Santa Fe Railroad would get together. They run special trains out of Fort Hood. It originated in Fort Hood, and we run them to Chicago so that the young soldiers could be home with their families for Christmas and the holidays. This took place every year. Also, when I look at the old depot, I can reminisce and remember happiness. Along with other young railroaders, we grew up together. We learned our profession right here, and we raised our families. And good old Santa Fe paid us every 2 weeks, so we were thankful to have a job. I don't know. I don't have much more to say. This time, I would like to see if Becky comes forward. Give her a little presentation, please. I have something here that Mr. Turner and Mr. Brookerson, if they were here, well, Turner's here, but if both of us here, they would relate to this immediately. This is what we call a switch key and a lock. And this was used to secure the old depots, especially during the last few years of the operations before they were closed. And these were standard locks that were used on all the depots to secure. And I'd like to present this to you and to the Sesquicentennial Committee for y'all to do what you see fit for.
Well, that's wonderful. If I can get enough money out of Dr. Patterson from the Sesquicentennial Group, we're going to have a display case in the depot here, and it shall be placed there. O.L., thank you.
I have one little more thing that I want to say, and maybe some of you agree with me, maybe some of you won't. You know, Dr. Patterson just gave a history there, and he stole some of my speech, you know. I was going to stay up here a long time. But anyway, this old depot has meant a lot to us, to all of us men that's worked here, and I know to the people that's was raised up here. I remember Cotton Adams, Tom Bishop, all those men that were here back in the beginning say the old depot was kind of the headquarters. They all come down there, the hangout for the teenagers, so to speak. That's for Dairy Queens, I guess. So what I'd like to say is that I feel this old depot has been the hub of the city of Killeen from its beginning back in 1882. People moved in from all the little communities into Killeen because of the railroad. So I'd like to say that I think it is the hub of the area back then, and I think so even through the years and up to the present time. And I think it will continue to be part of the community during the years to come. And just one more tribute to the committee. I personally, I think it's great that this committee and the Killeen Chamber of Commerce have worked on this through the years so that we'll have something of history to pass on to our children and our children's children. And hopefully maybe they'll see what we've done and they will do the same for their children and children's children. So thank you very much.
Thanks, O.L. And Mr. Turner, where are you? What? Raise your hand. This is Leonard Turner there, the fellow that also worked and spent a lot of time here. So you may want to visit with him. Let's give Mr. Turner a hand. Sis is saying she wants some more money to do some more projects. I want to remind the committee that we've got in my garage some maps that we've never sold from the sesquicentennial. And I think if we can dig those out, we can make some money on the way Killeen was whenever that map was done. I wrote them a letter and said, they're in my garage, I'd like to get rid of them. What suggestions do y'all have? And none of them have called me. So I was thinking the Festival of Flags, we might could sell some of those as souvenir items. Certainly Fort Hood totally changed this community and the use of the Santa Fe. And as O.L. mentioned, the ticket sales picked up considerably, and we're grateful they did because those ticket sales in a lot of ways are continuing. I'm delighted that Major General Mark Cisneros, Deputy Commander, Fort Hood, is here to participate. Thank you, General, for coming. Appreciate it. At this time, Brad Bain, the Chairman of the Board of the Greater Killeen Chamber of Commerce, will be coming forward, and assisting Brad in the unveiling of the marker and the reading will be O.L. Cox and Leonard, if you want to step forward also. So Brad, if you and Leonard and O.L.
Thank you, Charles. The Greater Killeen Chamber of Commerce is proud to be the current occupant of such a historical treasure within our community, and we would like to add our thanks to all of those of you who are here today who have helped preserve this tradition. This time, if we could get this industrial strength tape off of here, we'd like to unveil and read the marker for you. Santa Fe Depot, founded in 1882 as a shipping point on the Gulf, Colorado and Santa Fe Railroad, Killeen was named for railroad official Frank P. Killeen. After the first depot was destroyed by fire, Santa Fe workers used standard plans to build this structure in 1913. The presence of the rail line was instrumental in the U.S. Army's decision to build Camp Hood, later Fort Hood, during World War II. After the railroad took the depot out of active service, the city acquired it in 1982 and moved it to this site, 350 feet west and 130 feet north of its original location. How about another hand for the new marker?
Thanks, Brad, O.L. and Leonard. There are very few places in Killeen that are historical, that we can have historical markers. And we need to make sure that any that are there we need to preserve. So I am delighted that this has occurred. And I know I can remember the controversy back in '82 when there was discussion about keeping this and what some people said were the exorbitant costs, that it's not worth it. I am delighted that the city hung firm and had the support of a lot of you here that said there's some things that the investment is worth it. And I can tell you the investment was worth it, and it'll be here for hundreds of years because of the investment. And that money will long be gone, but this building will remain. So I'm delighted the city was bold and courageous and fought that battle. And they're still fighting battles, and we need to support them on things that are important. I'm really grateful that we had such a large turnout of people. A lot of you did a lot in making this day possible, and I'm delighted at your support. Following the retiring of the colors that we'll have in just a moment, there's a reception, and we hope you'll stay and take part in the reception and visit with some of the people that were on the program. Thanks again for coming, and at this time we'll have the retiring of the colors by the Fighting Sixth.
Very hard to say. The Cheer series, only listed to 10, and then so far, and actually greater.